Okay, so this is Pocono in the Cup Series in the NASCAR Heat 4 video game. So, Pocono, a very, very difficult track. I think difficult track to drive, difficult track to set up for, just because you have got everything so, every corner is so different. And I learned I do not do well when I am talking and driving. So I'm actually going to go really slow here the first lap, point out some things, and probably, hopefully lay down a decent lap without talking. As you can see right here on the very left side of the screen is that last of those orange cones. There is one there. Let's back up if I can do it without getting hit here. There is two there. And then there is three that I just went by on the left-hand side. So somewhere about this, between this first cone and this green light, I am going to be on the brakes, not real hard, but on the brakes. I want to get down close to the yellow line. I don't want to cross it. If you cross this yellow line here in one and you're on the throttle, you will spin out. If you cross the yellow line, just ease it back up without any throttle, and then hit the gas then. I have found the best way for me to get around this track and put up a decent lap time is I noticed I lost a lot of time on the exit of this corner, so I decided that in turn one of Pocono I was going to shift, and I've got the gearing set up to shift. So what I do is I brake, I get the car settled, I don't shift until I am ready to get back on the throttle. So when I shift down, I am back on the throttle. I'm going to run it very hard. I should be able to just drop the hammer on the throttle and go and drive all the way down the straightaway.
Hard from the outside.
And I'm going to slow down here. When we get up here to turn 2 in Pocono, there is along the outside wall right there, that black marker, that black road sign. Let's see if I can do this without getting hit. That's right there beside me. That is where I am going to come off the gas. I do not brake, but I come off the gas and I am turning hard left. And I found there's actually a lot of grip on the apron, and I'm going to be running down here on the apron. This, I think, is a great turn where you can make up a lot of time, but it's a difficult turn. It is so flat that it is hard to feel the car settle and know when to get back on the gas. You almost have to get an idea of just, okay, the car looks like it's pointed straight, so if it's pointed straight, let's get on the gas. But it is difficult to know when to get back on the gas here in turn 2. But I am bringing it clear down here to the apron, and then when it looks like I am pointed straight, I'm going to get hard back in the throttle and run it clear up here by the wall. And like I said, that's a hard one to pull off. Now I got to get up to speed if I'm going to lay it down a decent lap here. I'm not sure if I'm going to get up to speed. I'm coming off the wall here somewhere about a little bit before that green marker. I try to stay low coming out of turn 3. I about said turn 4. Yeah, this isn't going to be a good lap. I didn't get up to speed enough. And then here we go. This is the real deal, and I got all kinds of traffic in front of me. See, I shift down, and that really helps me accelerate out of here and gain speed on the cars in front of me, where I used to always lose ground on this straightaway.
All right, you're clear.
We come down here, turn hard, hit the apron, back in the gas. Now, as the tires wear, it seems like you got to wait more and more to get back in the throttle here. This is the turn I struggle with the most. I'm not even sure I know the best way to get it. I know that if you can get on the throttle early and stay low, it helps your lap time. Not sure I got up to speed enough to make this a decent lap. Yeah, that's a 53.5. That's a pretty decent lap. Might do a hair better, but that's overall a lap I'd be considered pretty respectable with no draft. There's my downshift. I think I did get a little bit of a draft there on the front stretch. I am shifted pretty much when I hit the red line. I'm not pushing it up to the rev limiter. Clear down to the apron, turn it hard because I didn't hit that well. That was not the best way to do it. You really don't want to. I was late getting back in the throttle and really late keeping the car to turn. So that's really not the best way to hit that one. This is probably going to be a pretty bad lap, I'd say. Yeah, see, at Pocono, you don't lose a couple of tenths. You can lose like 1.2 seconds on a bad lap. I should have stuck with that first one. I think I was a little too cautious there. That first lap is probably going to be the best one to illustrate what kind of a line to run. It's really tempting to overdrive too, I think, and I think I overdrove it on the last lap. But it's hard to get all three corners right. See, that one wasn't any better, but I do have a 53.5, which I think is a respectable lap, and I have shown kind of how to run this thing, at least how I think you run it.
Careful, still there. Clear high, bud.
That's Chase Elliott ahead of me. See, I gained quite a bit on him. You really gain a lot of ground in two if you get it right. It seems like I lag, not lag like as in a glitch lag, but it seems like I lose a little bit of ground coming out of three, but usually I can make it up with this gearing. But anyway, I'm going to jump into the setup. Again, not the best lap times there, but I hope I illustrated enough of how I at least drive it and how this setup is designed to drive it that it is of some use. But let's look at the setup. Okay, I am going 3 straight across the board here on the rebound and the bump setting. It just seems like that's what makes the car the happiest. I've got the front weight and the wedge. That's pretty normal for me. Front weight is a little below 50, and the wedge is usually between 49.5 and 50. Not a lot to talk about here. I think these are a lot of pretty standard things for my setups. The right side tire pressures are in the 40-pound range, which I think is close to the default setting. I usually run my tire pressures fairly close to the default setting. I'm usually within at least a couple of pounds of them. I am pretty aggressive on the right front camber just because you really don't use tires that much. You could probably go a little more aggressive on the left front camber if you're having trouble making the car turn. The track bar, left and right side, are both pretty high. Again, that's, I think, to help get the car turned on some of these corners. And then my gearing, I ran a 3.25, which seems incredibly low gear for a 2.5 mile speedway, but I'm running a 0.95 in fourth gear, and I've got third gear down to 1.2. You'll notice a big gap between second and third gear. That is because of the plan to shift in turn one. So I put third gear very close to fourth gear. So anyway, that's my Pocono setup. I know I didn't show the best lap times there, but I do think I showed some things that are hopefully helpful. And this is a setup that I think is pretty forgiving, pretty easy to get around the track with it. And it is capable of running some decent lap times. I think my best is I want to say a 53 flat, but I'm not sure if that's exactly right. But anyway, I hope that was helpful to everybody. Please leave any questions you have in the comments. If there's other tracks you want to see, be happy to do a setup for it. And please, please, please like and subscribe to the channel. It would mean a great deal for me. Thank you.